The Vanishing Tenant, the unsolved case of apartment 9B. In 2016, a 27-year-old woman named Clara Hayes vanished from her apartment in Chicago. Her door was locked from the inside. Her wallet, her phone, and her keys were all sitting untouched on the kitchen counter, and yet Clara was gone. The only clue was a 47-second CCTV clip from the hallway outside her apartment. It showed Clara walking toward her door at 10:43 p.m., and behind her, a faint silhouette followed, someone or something that the police never managed to identify. What happened in apartment 9B has haunted investigators for almost a decade. This is the story of The Vanishing Tenant. Before we begin, if you enjoy chilling true crime stories like this one, make sure to hit the like button to support the channel and subscribe so you never miss the next mystery. All right, let's get into it. It started on the morning of June 11th, 2016, when the building superintendent, Dennis Cole, received complaints about a dripping sound coming from the 9th floor. When Dennis went up to check, he found water slowly leaking through the ceiling from apartment 9B, belonging to a woman named Clara Hayes. He knocked several times. No answer. He used his master key to open the door. Inside, everything looked ordinary. At first, the TV was on, muted. A cup of coffee sat cold on the table. Her laptop was open on a paused movie scene. The bathroom light was on, but no one was there. Then Dennis noticed something that froze him in place. On the kitchen counter sat Clara's phone, her purse, her wallet, and her apartment keys. The only window was locked. The front door had been deadbolted from the inside. There was no sign of forced entry, and yet Clara was nowhere to be found. Dennis called 911 at 10:12 a.m. When police arrived, they were just as confused. It was as if Clara had disappeared into thin air. Clara Hayes was a 27-year-old graphic designer working for a small marketing agency downtown. Friends described her as quiet, kind, and hardworking. Someone who always smiled, but never seemed to sleep enough. She had recently moved into apartment 9B after breaking up with her longtime boyfriend, Evan Lewis. Her neighbors rarely saw her except for one, an older woman across the hall named Mrs. Gale. Mrs. Gale later told police that Clara had become increasingly nervous in the weeks before she disappeared. "She told me she kept hearing footsteps at night," Mrs. Gale said, "slow ones." Inside her apartment, at first police assumed it was stress or anxiety, maybe just the pipes or noise from other units. But Clara's search history revealed something disturbing. On the night before she vanished, she had searched for how to tell if someone is living in your walls and hidden crawl spaces in old Chicago apartments. The last confirmed sighting of Clara came from the hallway camera at 10:43 p.m. on June 10th. She was returning from a grocery run, 2 bags in hand. She looked calm, maybe even a little tired. But behind her, a faint figure appeared at the far end of the corridor. A tall silhouette, wearing a hood, no face visible. Clara unlocked her door and stepped inside. Exactly 23 seconds later, the light in her living room flickered, then movement. A shadow passed behind the frosted glass of her door, and then nothing. The next morning, the building's security system overwrote the footage. Only 47 seconds survived. The final frame showed Clara's door handle turning slowly from the inside. No one entered. No one left. Police found no fingerprints besides Clara's. No signs of struggle. But under the sink, an officer found a small hole leading into the wall. Behind it, a narrow maintenance shaft. Old, dusty, but not untouched. Inside, there were fresh scuff marks, like someone had climbed through recently. The shaft led straight down to the basement. That door was supposed to be locked. It wasn't. Inside the basement, investigators discovered a sleeping bag, several empty water bottles and food wrappers. Someone had been living there, hidden in the building. DNA from the bottles matched no one in the national database, but strands of hair found in the sleeping bag matched Clara's. The building had once been low-income housing before renovation, with several old maintenance shafts connecting multiple units. Most had been sealed, except one. Apartment 9B. The case went cold in 2018. No suspect, no trace, no closure. But in 2021, a new tenant moved into apartment 9B. Her name was Emily Tran. Within days, she complained about faint scratching sounds coming from inside the walls. Maintenance checked. Found nothing. The next morning, she found a note slipped under her door. It said, "Stop blocking the light. Some of us still live here." Emily moved out that same day. When police investigated, the building's owner refused to allow any demolition. A few months later, the property was sold. Apartment 9B was sealed permanently. Today, the disappearance of Clara Hayes remains one of Chicago's most disturbing unsolved cases. And while there's no evidence of who was living behind her walls, some residents say that late at night, from the hallway outside 9B, you can still hear tapping, slow, rhythmic, deliberate, almost as if someone is still there, still waiting. And the question that keeps investigators awake isn't who took Clara, it's how they locked the door from the inside. If you enjoyed this story, remember to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more real-life mysteries that will keep you up at night. Until next time, stay safe and check your walls.